stock markets would repeat their seasonal pattern of being rather weak, so that we see a pullback and potential buying opportunity. But of course, that did not happen. As you can see here from this chart, notice what happened in September of last year. There it is. Okay, so that's September. And what actually happened that year is that rather than showing much weakness, ended up being one of the strongest periods of that year. Pushed higher, as you can see here on the S&P, and actually became a catalyst for further strength in the stock market, which continued forward from October onwards all the way to January. So I personally have learned that if you just rely on seasonality alone, you might end up paying a heavy price by missing out on potential opportunities in the markets. Same thing happened, by the way, on Bitcoin. If you just take a look over here on Bitcoin. So as you'll see, September, well, actually, no, on Bitcoin, it was more or less correct in that October started a major rally. Okay, so as you can see here, the seasonal pattern of Bitcoin was correct from October onwards. You can see October all the way up to December, very strong period. That corresponds with what we saw on this chart, which is that October to December has a strong seasonal bias. Having said that, though, was it correct to say that the June to October period was weak? Well, let's see. I mean, of course, this is just last year. I would say maybe. June was a rather sideways market, but overall it ended up going higher. So all I would say is a maybe situation. You might agree with me that perhaps last year was an exceptional year for Bitcoin in that it kind of broke all the rules, more or less, and that ended up going by 1,000%. In any case, bottom line is this, guys, that if the seasonal patterns repeat themselves on Bitcoin and the stock markets, it appears that perhaps the best buying opportunity could be in the month of October. In other words, the end of September or the month of October. In other words, if one were to completely ignore the charts, it's possible to say that if the seasonal patterns on Bitcoin and the stock market were to repeat themselves this year, then one could perhaps just ignore the entire period from, June to October, just ignore that entire period and just wait for October and then potentially look for buying opportunities at that point. And the same thing applies to the stock markets as well. As you can see here, the month of May to September are usually weak, which is why you've heard the phrase sell in May and go away. And usually the best period starts from October to April. Okay. Having said that, though, as I've just explained, I don't think it's a wise idea to just rely on seasonality on its own. It's a good idea, in fact, to combine seasonality with the charts. So looking at the chart patterns, looking at the actual market and looking for potential trade opportunities rather than just relying on seasonality as one piece of data. All right.
So once again, I don't try to time the market, and you can use this kind of data if you're into technical analysis and seasonality. You can use this data, and maybe he is right that you should be waiting till October to make any further purchases. But for me personally, I'm just going to put my limit order if the price of Bitcoin goes down under 6,000, if Ethereum goes under 500. I'm just going to buy whether it's the right season or not the right season. The main thing is I have capital and enough cash where I can continue to buy if it goes below the 6-month low point. We haven't seen these kind of lows for a while. And so if it does go below 250 billion market cap, I'm going to be taking advantage and just buying right there on the spot. I'm not going to wait till October, even though his strategy could be correct and there could be data to justify this. For me personally, when it's a good deal, it's a good deal. And especially if I can get Bitcoin for under 6,000 or Ethereum for under 500, I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger. But like I said, I'm going to leave capital. So if prices go down even further, I can continue to buy and continue to make my average buy lower and lower. That's why I keep preaching dollar cost averaging. But let me know your thoughts and what you think about this. And if you haven't had a chance, I highly, highly recommend subscribe to Alessio Rastani's channel. He provides some of the best information you can get on YouTube. I'm a huge fan, so highly recommend his work. And let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys soon.